Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. I have plenty of lighting and I have wonderful fan. The time is approximately, I'm going to say it is 10:49 p.m. and the current date is Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. So, in one of my recent videos, I had the honor and pleasure of discussing the May 2020 entry for one of my favorite, and so far only, tarot-themed calendars that I know about, which is Llewellyn's 2020 Tarot Calendar. And of course, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the cover of the calendar. And I remember I kept tuning into the High Priestess card depicted from the Arcanum Tarot. And here she is in all of her splendor. And I kept tuning into her, and I'm like, okay. And feeling her and just really basking in this High Priestess lunar radiance. And what came to me was a spread. And I call it the Arcanum Tarot High Priestess spread. And it's not the first time that I have encountered or I've experienced a spread based on a tarot card. I know that in, I forgot the exact title of the book, but it was written by Rachel Pollack, and it's one of her newer books, and it was actually referred to as the 79th degree of wisdom. For those of you who may be new to the realm of tarot, or the world of tarot, as opposed to the realm of tarot, 78 Degrees of Wisdom is one of the most well-known books on the tarot. In fact, it's been called the Bible of the Tarot for years and years, and it was written by the Rachel Pollack. Rachel Pollack is one of those A-list tarot people, you know, along with Mary Kay Greer, Barbara Moore, etc., etc., etc. So what came to me was a spread, and what I want to show you is, and I did this on Microsoft Paint, the regular version, not the 3D version, but I want to show you the image of the High Priestess card. This was designed by Renata Lechner. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly, and this is what I did. So what I did was I did a fade thing so that the colors of the image weren't as bright, and I wrote down the card positions, and I didn't expect it to be just 4 cards. I figured it would be like 13 or 7 or whatever, but it came out to be 4 cards. And I'm actually going to talk about the different card positions and what they represent. So above the full moon, or rather the full moon, which is right at the top of the lunar bark, if you will, is the High Priestess's guidance. So this first card in this spread is going to say, this is what the High Priestess is guiding you to do, to see, to know, to understand, etc. Now, card number 2, which is in front of her cross, Stations of the Cross. Now here's the funny thing. As I've said in numerous videos prior to this one, I'm a happily recovered Catholic. Now, I only learned about the Stations of the Cross maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. Never heard about it when I was a Catholic in name only. And it turns out that there are 14 Stations of the Cross. Now, in most tarot decks that have 78 cards, there are 14 cards in each suit of the minor arcana. So, depending upon which Station of the Cross you pull, or depending upon which minor arcana card you pull, it will represent the number of that Station of the Cross. So, Ace would be 1, as in the first Station of the Cross. 10, of course, would be the 10th. If you pull a page, it would be the 11th Station of the Cross. If you pull a knight, it would be the 12th station. If you pull a queen, the 13th, and the king, the 14th. According to the Wikipedia entry for Stations of the Cross, there is a lesser-known 15th Station of the Cross. So, if you get a major arcana card, consider that one to be the 15th Station of the Cross. just in case you get a major arcana card there. Card number 3 is the wisdom gained from the guidance. And notice the key is where the card number 3 is. So you may not be able to see it depending upon the camera angle, or you may not be able to see because it's a little too faded, but the key is there, this gorgeous, beautiful key, which has 2 hearts. So I really feel like this is about the heart's wisdom about this particular guidance as well. And then the last card, which is where the book is, and if you want to lay it out like this, you can do that as well, is what to do with it, or how to put it into action. So you have the High Priestess's guidance, which is where the full moon is. That's card number 1. Then you have card number 2, the Station of the Cross, which is directly in front of the cross that the High Priestess is wearing. Then you have card number 3, which is the wisdom gained from the guidance. Like, what is the wisdom that you are receiving from this guidance, or what is the wisdom that is to be applied in conjunction with this guidance? And then you have the book at the bottom, which is symbolizing what to do with this wisdom. Like, what am I going to do with it? How do I apply it? To whom do I give it? To whom do I share it? With whom do I share it? Etc. So, since this is the High Priestess card from the Arcanum Tarot, and I have the honor and pleasure and the, and I almost never use this term, the sheer luck of having a copy of the Arcanum Tarot, which I received, technically I received yesterday, Monday, May 11th, 2020, but I was not able to receive it directly from the postal carrier, so it was brought back to my local post office, and I picked it up today, which is Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the cards a little bit of a shuffle. I shuffled them very thoroughly a little while ago, and here are cards. It would have been very funny if the cards, if there were 4 cards that fell out, that would have made it so easy. But I'm going to actually tell you which cards came out. The Fool, the High Priestess, and the 2 of Wands. No lie. So I'm going to actually put these back in the deck. I'm going to shuffle it a few more times. Then I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to show you something, because I don't know if I have shown you this before, but in the event that you're not using a tabletop, or you want to keep, or if you're one of those readers that actually does not have the client touch the deck, because there are some readers that don't do that, that don't have the clients touch the deck, and I have no problem with those kinds of readers, and I have no problem with having the client touch the decks. I will say there are 2 tarot decks that I've purchased in my life that had 24 karat gold leaf on the cards, and one of them is called Nefertari's Tarot, and make no mistake, nobody touched that deck but me. I did not want the possibility of a client shuffling the deck too roughly, or trying to like grind the cards into each other and ripping the cards. So I was like, and here 2 cards fell out. Okay, the energy of this deck is just jumping. I mean, seriously jumping. So I'm telling you, it was just like, so I was like, yeah, nobody is touching, and it was, at the time, the tarot deck was $40, just the deck. So I would imagine that over the years, if it's still in print, it's no longer $40. And then again, keep in mind that, generally speaking, gold and diamonds appreciate in value. So, one more shuffle, and then this is how I cut the deck. And I've done this a few times in some of my other videos. Basically, I will take this, do that, and now it's been cut into 3 piles. It's easy. It just requires that you keep a good handle on it. This is also good for people that do outdoor readings. You know, you can have, like, let's say, you know, here's the box. I put the deck on top of the box, and then I'll put something on top, like a large crystal, to like keep the deck in place. And then I'll just show the client 1 card at a time. You know, I have given readings outdoors before, and it never ceases to amaze me that at some point it's usually like, if it's a public venue, I'll find it happens almost maybe 2 to 3 minutes into the reading, or if it's a private reading, like almost halfway through the reading, all of a sudden a wind kicks up, and it's like, just, I'm scrambling and I keep the cards in place. One time, I remember I always like to carry a lot of coin change with me, and I just like went into my bag, opened the coin purse with the coins, and I just put like several quarters and nickels and dimes on top of each card, because the wind kicked up, and in fact 2 of them started to fly away, and the client like ran after them. I am forever thankful to that client. She's been using my psychic services for more than 25 years, and I will tell you right now, I am forever thankful to her for running after those cards. And yes, I did go home with a full deck. Okay, so having said that, now we're going to begin, and I appropriately call this the Arcanum Tarot High Priestess spread. So the first card is the High Priestess's Guide. Oh, of course. Of course, I almost forgot. If this resonates with you, great. If this does not, it may happen. Okay, so the first card is the High Priestess's Guidance. So what does the High Priestess want to say to us? With all my readings of late, I will hold up the card. I will show all of you first. And then, of course, I will have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the back of the card so that you can see what the back of the card design looks like. Thank you. And I will look at the card and I'll tell you what it says. It's the 6 of Pentacles. So the High Priestess's guidance is saying, take extra special care of your body and take extra special care of your wallet. So take care of the physical, take care of the financial. That was me. This time it was not one of the cats. This time it was not my awesome audiovisual person. This time it was yours truly. So take extra special care of your physical body, take extra special care of your financial body. Thank you so much, my dear. He is truly awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to say about this card is also, and this is the divine guidance that I'm receiving. You might want to follow up with your doctor with regards to any missed appointments, any checkups, any testing that needs to get done, any blood work, any type of examination of a certain body part, a certain physical, biological system. If there's something that you've been needing to do, this is the time to start getting it in motion. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical personnel, I'm not a nutritionist. Intuitively, every time I see the 6 of Pentacles, I think of a change of medication. So there could be a medication that you're currently taking now that could be decreased in dosage. It could be replaced by another medication, or it could even be that you stop taking the medication because you no longer need it. But I'm also going to say that a lot of times I've looked at the 6 of Pentacles and thought about vitamin supplements, like vitamins, minerals, amino acids, herbal supplements, things like that. So that could be a part of what you need to do to take better care of your physical health. And with regards to the financial health, I don't remember the last time that I was divinely guided or intuitively led to give somebody advice about money and prosperity from a purely practical, financial, scientific perspective. It's almost always metaphysical, magical, mystical, intuitive, spiritual. So I would say, because it is a Pentacles card, work with crystals that increase your prosperity. Work with herbs that increase your prosperity. I do not remember the ingredients of prosperity. I know that it's in Patricia Telesco's book, Money Magic. But I do remember the cash coffee because, I drink a lot of coffee. I drink more coffee than tea for the most part, although lately I've been drinking more tea than coffee. Go figure. But I definitely remember that in her book, Money Magic, Patricia Telesco listed the 3 ingredients to make cash coffee: allspice, cinnamon, and ginger. You put them in together and they will bring money to you. And let me tell you something, ever since I began using the sock, the coffee strainer, which we call in Spanish la media, money has been increasing in my life. Seriously. Even unexpected money miracles have been showing up more so than I've been able to keep track. Like, I'm losing track of all the unexpected money miracles that are showing up for me. And I will tell you that and even if you don't work with cash coffee magically, it tastes delicious. I mean, really. The allspice, the cinnamon, the ginger, it's really delicious. It's delicious. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now the second card is the Station of the Cross. And the second card I will show all of you. I will have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up. Y'all have already seen the back of the card design, so I'm going to look at the card. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay. I didn't want to do it too fast and make sure that, Anyway, it is the Five of Pentacles. So let me see what the fifth Station of the Cross is. Okay. Simon of Cyrene helps Jesus carry the cross. Okay, so. Got it. So the Five of Pentacles is telling me that there is financial assistance available to you, but it's not available yet. In other words, and what I got was a person. So I feel that with a lot of you, and I'm actually going to give a percentage, not that I have any way of measuring this or verifying this, but I'm going to say, I'm hearing 45%. So 45% of you who are watching this video, what I'm going to say to all of you is that I actually put the Six of Pentacles back in the pile, so I rectified that. So there is somebody who's going to assist you financially, whether it's letting you borrow money, whether it's leading you or directing you to somebody to talk about with regards to money, whether it's saving it, spending it, increasing it, investing it, etc. But the time is not opportune just yet. And it just so happens that this week there are 3 planets that are retrograding, that are beginning to retrograde. Saturn is one, Venus is the next, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, Venus begins retrograding tomorrow, Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. And then on Thursday, day of Jupiter, Jupiter begins retrograding. And I don't remember the last time that happened, where it's 3 planets retrograding in a row in the same week. And it's really intense. I'm like, that's a big deal. It's blowing my mind just to wrap my mind around it. So, and because in the numerology of the Sacred Tarot, 5 is the number of change, I really feel like there are some changes that are taking place in the lives of a lot of people with regards to money and with regards to physical health and well-being. Because remember, Pentacles are both. Pentacles represent financial health, they represent physical health. They are primarily, at least according to my personal psychic advisor, Roger Pratt, Pentacles primarily represent physical health matters. And on a secondary level, financial health matters. Although for me, it's always been the opposite. When I look at a Pentacles card, I think of money first and then physical health and well-being. In matters of romantic relationships, 5 of Pentacles represents sexual expression and sex in the romantic relationship. And because Venus represents how we give and receive love, like in our Venus, like our astrological Venus placement. Like for example, my Venus sign is Capricorn, and how I give and prefer to receive love is through expensive items, old items, things made of gems, things made of crystals, things made of or with wood. That's how, that's like my Venusian love language from a Western astrological perspective. So I do feel that sex might be on the back burner for a lot of people right now because, when Venus retrogrades, it's not necessarily an ideal time to really think about having sex. And because a retrograde delays things, I would say it's not an ideal time to begin a new sexual relationship with someone. You might want to put that on the back burner. Okay, so the third card represents the wisdom gained from the guidance. And that card is this. No, that card is this. They were a little stuck together. So again, I'm going to have my awesome audio-visual person do a close-up of the card. And when he's done with the close-up, I am going to have all of you, I'm going to read the card for all of you. That's what I meant to say. Okay. So, the wisdom gained from the guidance. It is the Three of Pentacles. I shuffled this deck thoroughly, by the way. Like, I massively shuffled I actually shuffled the deck 13 times, cut the deck 3 times, shuffled another 13 times, cut another 3 times, I meant to say 3, put it back together, shuffled the deck another 13 times, a final 13 times, and then I cut the deck into 3 piles a third and final time, and then I put it all together. I was shuffling the deck while I was getting this ready for the reading, and cards fell out twice, if not 3 times, and then I put them back together. So this deck has been thoroughly shuffled. But I'm curious about something. Yes, it is a Pentacles card. You know, it's been more than 25 years, no, it's been more than 30 years since I've given a reading where only one suit came out. That's freaky. And I'm going to look at something else for a moment. No, it's not a Pentacles card. I'm actually surprised. I thought it would be. Okay, so this is the card that represents the wisdom gained from the guidance. So I actually forgot. Did you do a close-up of this card that I show everybody first? I actually forgot. Wow. Okay, well, it is after 11 p.m., but still, like, okay, I'm not entirely here. You know what that means. Three of Pentacles. So, remember, there's a school of thought in the tarot that says that every minor arcana has the guiding energy of its major arcana counterpart. So, here is the energy of the Enchanted Empress. Because remember, the Empress card is trump 3, because it has the Roman numeral, most tarot decks, the Roman numeral 3 at the top. So the Enchanted Empress's energy is in the Three of Pentacles by virtue of the fact that this is a 3 of the minor arcana, pardon me, and the Empress card is trump 3, as in key 3, the Empress, or as I called her, the Enchanted Empress. So I really feel like this is about, okay, you're being guided to take better care of your body and your finances. And remember, the first card is the Six of Pentacles. I'm sorry, the first card is the... Oh no, it's not the Six of Pentacles, it's the Four of Pentacles. Isn't that crazy? I was interpreting it like it was the Six of Pentacles. Alright, so I'm going to go back to that card in a moment. Okay, so this is basically saying, prepare for your good. Do what you can, open yourself up to new opportunities, open your consciousness to ever-increasing amounts of prosperity, of good health, of radiance, of vitality, of joy, of healing, of wholeness. And they just showed me, I think it was Mama Pachamama, in the Goddess Oracle, created by Amy Sophia Marashinsky and illustrated by Harana Junta. They showed me the Pachamama card. Healing, holding, wholeness. Yes. Remember, in that pantheon, in Peruvian, Incan, Mesoamerican, I'm not remembering the exact pantheon, Pachamama is the Earth Mother, is Mama Earth, is Mother Earth in that pantheon. So it really is also about spending time in nature where there's a lot of earth. Since the vernal equinox, at least once a month, I feel this strong need to go to a park that's about 1 to 2 miles away from me. And I'm always in an area where there are tons and tons and tons of trees, and where I can smell the grass. And I don't even know if it's been mowed recently, but I smell that grass just like wafting through the air, and it's glorious. It's like, oh, it does my complete being, body, mind, soul, heart, everything good, really good. So it was actually the Four of Pentacles that came out first, not the Six of Pentacles. So I'm going to add to that the High Priestess is guiding you to remember that money is a cycle. Money has an ebb and it has a flow. It's like the ocean tides. And sometimes we have a lot more money and sometimes we have a little money. And also keep in mind that there is a need for that balance. There is a need for, like, okay, you know, because not in fact, it was just before all of the lockdowns and shutdowns and pauses began being implemented that a new avenue of income opened up for me. So I've actually been in a better position financially than I would have been if it was just my psychic services and just my side position of employment. So I'm really beyond thankful to the great goddess, pardon me, that this new avenue of income opened up for me that has helped me enormously. But I do invite you to remember that money is a cycle, love is a cycle, healing is a cycle. So if there are things that are coming up for you, and if there are things that are worrying you, surrender and release them. Surrender and release them to the earth, send them up to the sun, send them up to Mother Moon, send them up to the great goddess, or whichever term you use for the divine. And let yourself be provided for and allow yourself to be provided for. And then, the last card in the spread, what to do with the wisdom gained, or how to put it into action. And I already know what the card is, but I'm going to show all of you first. I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up. Then he's going to let me know when he's done, and then I'm going to interpret the card for y'all. It is the Two of Pentacles. So, this is a reminder to work in partnership with other people. You know, twos, I know that in Barbara Moore's writings, she writes that twos represent choices. So I'm going to combine my intuitive interpretation of twos with Barbara Moore's interpretation of twos. So this is basically saying a few things. Number one, develop a partnership between you and the divine regarding your money. Develop a partnership between you and the divine regarding your physical health and well-being, and ultimately your complete health and well-being. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, etc. That's number one. Number two, be willing to work with other people that can give you guidance on how to be physically healthier, how to be financially healthier, and place importance on all around. Not just the kind of stellar and phenomenal advice you'd receive from Susie Orman, or is it Suze? I always think it's Suze Orman. But also from books on prosperity consciousness, like the ones written by Dr. Catherine Ponder. I know she's not the only person that's written about prosperity consciousness, but she is my go-to. My second go-to is the late and great Dr. Joseph Murphy. And in between, Florence Scovel Shinn, or the immense wisdom of the late and great Dr. Florence Scovel Shinn. And this is also saying, explore what partnerships are available to you or could be available to you. You know, I am always an advocate that whenever a woman, especially a woman who's a minority, and in particular a woman who's a person of color, look to see if your state, county, province, country, etc. has programs that are specifically designed for women who are either women who are single, women who are married, women with or without children, or women who happen to be people of color, and see what's available to you to start your own business. And I've been saying this to so many different women over the years, especially those who live in New York City, because New York City has a lot of these great programs that do that. I don't know wherever you live if it does, but if you happen to be a woman, or if you happen to be a woman who's either with or without kids, with or without a spouse, and you may or may not be a person of color, see what your local area has that's available to you or could be available to you. And the final message card, and I already know what it is because I looked at it. I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of it, and then I'm going to look at the card and interpret it. And it is the Temperance card. And I love how, and I'm going to show this again, notice the brilliant golden sun at the third eye of this angelic being, which in a lot of tarot decks is Archangel Michael, or Saint Michael, the divine protector of the archangels. Notice that the left hand has the water, and the right hand has the fire, which is interesting because in the Celtic cosmology, and specifically the Irish cosmology, there are only two elements, water and fire. And of course, the left side of the body is the feminine side, and water is a decidedly feminine element. And the right side of the body is the masculine side, and fire is definitely a masculine element. So all of this as the final message card is saying, begin to create balance and integration. This happened, now we go to this. This is happening, now we move forward to what? Create a balance. Remember, back in November of 2019, the great goddess said to me that 2020 is the year of a solid, balanced foundation. For a lot of people, the COVID-19 outbreak has created a lot of imbalance. So now it's about, how do I get back into a state of balance? How do I get back into a harmonious state of being? And that is something that I'm feeling really strongly led to say to you. Let that be what becomes the focus of your thoughts, especially as we move in the direction of lockdowns and shutdowns and pauses being lifted, or beginning to be eased and lifted. If this reading resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And please remember that I am available for readings by phone, by Skype, by email, intuitive card readings, readings solely with tarot, solely with oracle card decks, a combination of the two, and of course with runes as well. I am actually looking at offering another kind of reading over the next few weeks and months. Nothing is official yet, but I'm giving y'all a group sneak peek. I normally don't give sneak peeks so openly. Usually it's reserved for the people that have been using my psychic services regularly or semi-regularly for at least 5 years. But I'm letting y'all know something could be coming down the pike and you might like it. I know I like it. But anyway, YouTube, as always, thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do. I wish all of you and yours peace and many blessings, and I wish you a good night and a beautiful week, and stay tuned for the next video.